The election process in India. So India is a democratic government. For democratic government, elections are base. Okay, in our India, election commission conduct elections for every 5 years. So usually elections conduct for 5 years, but sometimes the political parties may declare election before their tenure also. At the time, the election commission conduct elections early, and sometimes at the time of pandemic times or at the time of any situations raised. So that is not possible to conduct elections. So at the time, elections may be conduct after the 5 years also. There are some provisions are there in our constitution. So recently, at the time of COVID pandemic time, the elections are conducted in West Bengal and some other states. So in that, because of that, our election commission little bit blamed. Okay, even Supreme Court also objected or opinioned that this is the not right time to conduct the elections. So if they wish, the election commission can postpone the elections some more time. So that provision is given by the our constitution. Clear? So election commission came into force 25th January 1950. Okay, so first elections are were conducted in 1952. So already we discussed, election commission is a autonomous body or autonomous status. So what is the meaning of autonomous? So it is an individual body. So no one can influence the election commission. So election commissioner appointed by president. Okay, that's why no need to follow the instructions of the present government, either central or state governments. So at the time of first elections, only 14% of population had voting rights, but at present, more than 80 crores people having voting right. They are participating in elections. So at the time of elections, election commission take the help of about 45 lakhs staff. So, but that much staff they don't have. They took the help of central and state government staff at the time of elections. Clear? Next, code of conduct at the time of elections. The election commission prepare code of conduct for political parties. So what they do, what they do not do. So chief election commissioner, once upon a time, only one chief election commission was there, but now the number of commissioner raised more. So now 3 election commissioners are there. Out of 3, 1 elected as a chief election commissioner. So present chief election commissioner is Sunil Arora. Sunil Arora. In the previous tenure also, same person worked as a chief election commissioner, and he re-appointed at present as chief election commissioner. The name is Sunil Arora, chief election commissioner. His tenure is 6 years or up to 65 years of age, whichever is earlier. Mostly the chief election commissioners appointed at the time of retirement age. That's why this clause was kept. Okay, so up to TN session, chief election commissioners played their vital role. But after chief election commissioner TN session, so election commission earned a considerable popularity. It got more popularity. Why? Because he introduced so many changes in the election commission. Okay, now today we are going to discuss about functions of the election commissioner. So this is very commission. This is more important. So Article 324 to 329, Part 15 of the Constitution gave more powers and functions to the election commission. So election commission has three type of functions. One is administrative functions, advisory functions, and third one is quasi judicial functions. Sometimes the election commissioner act as a judge. Okay, so like that, what the courts has rights. So sometimes this commissioner also got some rights. Okay, so these three type of functions they do: administrative functions, advisory functions, and quasi judiciary functions. You can see here. Next. So these functions are performed by the election commissioner. So under these functions, the election commission prepares electoral rolls. So what is the meaning of electoral rolls? Means they prepare the list of the voters. They open the entry of new voters. Okay, and they prepare the list of the voters constituency wise. Okay, and they revise them in due time. Sometimes they remove some names who are died, and they entered new enrolls. Okay, like that. So they revise them in due time. And demarcation of constituencies. Sometimes constituencies may be increased in the states, and sometimes constituencies reduced in the states. Recently, our central government is planning to increase the constituencies in Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, even in Telangana also some constituencies are increased. Like that, so they do the demarcation of constituencies. Okay, and it announced the schedule of elections. That is more important. The election commission announced the schedules of elections. So after completion of the present government terms. Okay, if they go if the present government decided to go early elections, according to that also government election commission schedule the election schedule. This is more important. So at the time they receive the nominations from the candidates. Okay, so who are interested to contest in the elections, they should go and submit the nominations to the concerned authorities. So like that, so election commission appoint authority to receive the nominations. Later they check all the nominations, scrutinizes the nominations according to the rules and regulations they are submitted or not. So if they provided true information or not, okay, everything they will scrutinize. So if they are fail to submit all the information, that those nominations will be rejected. Okay, next finalize the list of the candidates. Okay, and finalize the polling dates and polling stations. And after the sometimes it gives recognition to the political parties. So already existing political parties are having their own symbols and registration. But if any new political party want to open by any people, so then they recognize the political parties and allot the symbols to them. So already existing parties are having their own symbols, but new parties they need to choose the symbols. Okay, like that, the election commission allot the symbols to the political parties like Aam Aadmi Party took the broom. Okay, even TRS took their symbol as car. Okay, like that. So they allowed the symbols to the political parties, and it frames and implements the code of conduct to be followed by the political parties at the time of elections. So code of conduct will be implemented at the time of elections only. So at the time of elections, the political parties should follow the code of conduct. What they have to do, what they should not do, will be instructed by the election commission. Okay. Next, they appoint the election officials, okay, observers, like that. So if any malpractices done by political parties, then those elections will be cancelled. So likewise, next, another one is advisory functions. So advisory functions means it advises the president and the governors of the states regarding the disqualification of the representatives to the parliament and the state legislatures. Sometimes providing false information, the party members may be elected as a MLAs or MPs. Okay. After election also, if anyone proves the information given by the person is false, then the election commission advise to the president to cancel their representation. Okay. Next, it solves the disputes between parties at the time of it acts like a quasi-judicial authority. Sometimes at the time of elections, some dispute rise between the political parties, and they blame each other. At the time, election commission try to solve the disputes between the parties, and at the time they act as a quasi-judicial authority. So as per the guidelines issued by the Election Commission of India, all the people who attain or who are having the age of 18 years can get the voting right. Okay. So at the time of giving voting right, they never consider caste, creed, religion, gender, language, so etc. Everyone will get the voting right who crossed their age 18 years. The eligibility is he should be the citizen of India. If he is a citizen of, if or he or she, if they are citizens of India, then they will get voting right after their 18 years of age. Okay, it is called the universal adult franchise. It is called universal adult franchise. Okay, next, political parties in elections. Political parties in elections. Already you know that number of political parties are there in our country. So basically political parties divided into two groups. One is regional parties, another one is national parties. And who are called regional parties. So already I said the party symbols elected by the election commission. Okay. So if any party wins 3% of valued votes in any state in assembly elections, okay, and if they elect in a 3 assembly seats in that state, so that is declared as a regional party. So which is called regional party. So parties are regional parties and national parties. So if any party contest in the elections in any state and who got 3% of valued votes, okay, valued votes, and if they won 3 assembly seats in that state, so that is declared as regional party. So a party can be recognized as regional party in more than one state. Okay, they can contest in another states also. If they got 3% of votes in that state also, they will consider as regional party. And if a party is recognized in 4 states, recognized in 4 states with 6% of valid votes of, or if they won 11 Lok Sabha MP seats from 4 different states, okay, so it is called as national party. So it become a national party that should be contest in elections in 4 states, that should be recognized in the 4 states, and they should won 4 Lok Sabha MP seats from 4 different states, not in single state. If they won only, if they contest in 4 states, and if they won only 11 seats in one state, that is not considered as a national party. That should be one in different states, 11 Lok Sabha seats in different states. So that is called national parties. Already you are observing here. So these are the national parties of India. So already you know Congress, the oldest party, BJP also is the oldest party, CPM, CPI, these are all are 4 oldest parties in our country. So recently these 3 parties also recognized as a national parties of India. So this is a I think Trinamool Congress, and this is Bahujan Samajwadi Party, and it is the symbol is belongs to Indian Nationalist Congress. Okay, so sorry, not Indian National Congress. Just a minute. It is considered as nationalist, I think. Okay, Nationalist Congress Party, Nationalist Congress Party, and Bahujan Samajwadi Party, Bharatiya Janata Party, Indian National Congress, Communist Party of India, and Communist Party of India, Marxist CPI-M. So these are considered as national parties. Remaining all are regional parties like TRS, okay, Telugu Desam, and some other parties considered as regional party, means those are limited to their states. Next, code of conduct, already we have discussed. At the time of elections, the election commission prepared some code of conduct, so that should be followed by the political parties. So they should not violate these conditions. Violation of these rules and regulations is treated as malpractices for which disciplinary action shall be initiated. Okay, so key points of code of conduct. Key points of code of conduct. So what are those? So the contesting candidates and political parties shall not make any statements against caste, creed, religion, or regional areas. Okay, they should not make any statements against caste, creed, religion, and regional places. If they do, what happens? The problems raised in the society. Next, no personal comments shall be made that are not relevant to political life. We should comment on the party, not on individual. So you can point out the mistakes they done, but not personal mistakes. The you have to point out the political party only. No political party announcements targeting a caste or religion shall be made. We should not target any caste, any religion, okay, like that at the time of elections. Next, in places such as holy places like churches, mosques, temples, and other holy places, even near the educational institutions. So no candidate should campaign. So near the churches, near the temples, near the mosques, near the any holy places, or in near the educational institutions, the political party candidate should not campaign, should not beat drums, they should not make slogans, okay, and even they should not disturb those people and those areas. These are the restrictions. No candidate shall influence the voters either by giving cash or any articles. So you should not bribe to the people. But nowadays, that is very common. Even political parties, even governments, even all authorities are accepting without bribing. There are no elections in our India. So as per code of conduct, they should not offer, they should not influence the voters by giving bribe. Okay. No voter shall be used to cast his her vote in others' identity. Okay. Next, shall not be used to cast. Even without the caste involvement, there are no elections in our India. That is also even the at the time of election of president also the caste came in front line at the time of even at the time of election of prime minister. So that also came into front line. Caste came into front line. So without caste, there is no involvement of caste. There is no elections in our country. So most of the states influenced by elections influenced by some caste groups. Okay, like that. So no campaigning within 100 meters on the day of polling. So we should not show any symbols in the premises around 100 meters. So one allegation came on prime minister at the time of previous elections. So after casting his vote, he came out and he showed the symbol of their party. So some obligations came at the time. Okay, so no one should campaign or should show any symbol around 100 meters near the polling stations. There should be no campaigning after or before the permitted hours. So after 14 days, okay, so the campaigning should be stopped before 48 hours of elections. Campaigning should be stopped and all type of advertisement should be stopped. Okay, next. We should not carry people to the polling stations and dropping the voters at their houses also banned. Okay, like that. So these are the conditions may implement by the election commission at the time of elections. Clear? Okay. So you have to follow. If anyone not follow, if anyone violate these conditions, then those will be punished. Clear? This is the information of the functions of the election commissioner. So already we have discussed that the present election commissioner is Sunil Arora. Okay, and they are having three type of functions: administrative function, advisory functions, and quasi judicial functions. So remaining part we will discuss in the next class. Okay.